It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm gonna miss your smell.
You were my first.
What? I knew it. I knew
It's
it.
true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg.
I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa. Check out this new couch.
The Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Bud Light, Buffalo Wild Wings, Super Park, and Dobbs Tire and Auto.
Hey, good Monday evening to you. How you guys doing? Good to see you. Good turnout here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Creve Coeur. We appreciate it. We know we'll be hearing from some of you via text and calls and any other smoke signals, whatever we can take here. But welcome to the Jeff Fisher Show alongside DeMarco Farr. I'm Steve Savard, our special guest here for a few minutes. Number 55, linebacker James Laurinaitis.
Complete with a new scar. How about the scar on the nose? He's real now, see?
Hey, that's
Look at that.
part of the job.
Helmet came down,
right?
busted
Part of
open.
the job.
Did it bleed?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Did you let it bleed?
Yeah,
Did you like it?
a little bit.
This is why I love him.
I'm going to stay out. I'm going to stay out of it. I like this.
You got to
line of
let it
questioning.
bleed when the blood starts to drip. I mean, as a football player, you know you kind of like that.
I had a buddy in college. He was a special teams guy. He actually played for the Dolphins the last 3 years, similar to what Josh Hull was the last 3 years. You know, he's a guy that played his rear end off on special teams. Well, in college, I don't know if he had a weird shaped head, which he probably did, but it kept smashing so many times that he had to try to wear these like taped on pads to keep his helmet from sliding down.
Wow.
He actually got plastic surgery this last offseason to kind of fix it, and then he busted it open in preseason again.
Wow.
Middle linebacker.
Steve
man.
had a crazy shaped head.
I did?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
That's news to me. That's news to me. Let's talk a little bit about yesterday's ball game. What'd you take away? Now, it's always your perspective. What we've always said, it's tough to get everything, separate the emotion immediately after a game. But now you've had 24 hours. You've looked at film. I know you look at every single play, every snap you're on the field for. What'd you take away from it after today watching the film?
A couple things. First off, we didn't play consistent enough to beat a great team on the road. I mean, that team is one win away from being in the Super Bowl last year, and we're at their place, and we spot them points and all this or whatever. But at the end of the game, we still had a chance to win the thing, or at least tie it. Looking back on that, I mean, there's no excuse for that. The thing that I love about this squad that's different from years past is there is 100% absolutely no moral victories. It's not oh gosh, we played, that's a good football team. We almost got them. It's a feeling in the locker room of we let them escape with one in their own building. And as a guy who's been around this place for a while, that's completely different.
That's new, huh?
And it's welcomed, and it's awesome because we know that had we played the way we know how to play, we could have beat that team. And we expected to beat that team. So we just got to fix the mistakes, which we did today. We've already moved on, and it's on to Dallas. Another set of challenges, another great quarterback, another good running back, Des Bryant, Jason Witten, a lot of the same characteristics.
The eye in the sky don't lie. There's enough positives there to say that if you straighten it out, who knows what would have happened, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some negatives too. Things that need to be ironed out, practice better, focus better.
Right.
Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
times I can't say 31 other teams because some teams are just not as good as other teams, but there's a lot of other teams right now that lost on.
Yeah,
that lost
it was
yesterday that are
close
saying,
all
"Gosh,
week. Every game seemed to be
one
close."
or two plays, but that's the NFL, and
Yeah.
that's why I said we got to get more consistent because when we play consistently how we know how to, those are the 3 and outs. Those are the things that we can do to get off the field, and it's not a talent issue.
Right.
So I'm extremely encouraged. Part of me is still bitter about it.
But you seem mad.
Oh, you're going to
Yeah.
be mad, but then again, I'll go home tonight and during commercial breaks of this game tonight, I'll get the last 3 Dallas games on. Watch the Dallas games
Move
and
on.
start it off. Yeah.
So what was it like to see Steven in a different colored uniform lining up against you? What was that like?
It was different.
Different? Yeah.
Yeah. It's business.
Was
but
it
it's
fun?
different.
Was it what you thought it would be? Seeing that guy?
No, because he only played 1 drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys did a great job against the run yesterday. In fact, you turned them one-dimensional. Jeff made comments after the game yesterday that, he would have thought had you turned them into that one-dimensional football team, you'd have had better results.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sitting there watching the film today, and
they got nothing going on.
Matt Ryan has to be really sore today. He has to be extremely sore today.
He saw him in the locker room, and he told me on the bus, he said the guy's covered in ice bags.
He was the Iceman.
Watching what
slumped in his locker.
What Robert Quinn and what Chris Long did in that game didn't show up in stat books, but it was unbelievable how many times he was throwing the ball and Robert's hands swiping along his back, and he's getting nailed, thrown around, and it lets the guys on the back end know, listen, we're half a second away from those are sack fumbles. We got to tighten up our coverage a little bit. We got to do a little better on the back end to help out, and everything works together. You know the way it is, D-line and DBs, it all works together. But we're extremely close in a lot of those situations, and we just got to figure out a way to clamp down it because, quite frankly, there's no reason why we couldn't have had 6 sacks. Yeah,
at halftime, you guys are down by 21. I told DeMarco the conversation I had with David Archer, their longtime radio analyst and former NFL quarterback, was that, hey, we can't block your guys. So we're going to end up getting the ball out of Matt's hands quickly, and that's exactly what they did in the second half. They didn't want him sitting there for 3 or 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket. And there was a stretch in the second half where you shut them down completely. They didn't cross the 50-yard line until about 5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Then they put together, to their credit, that 80-yard drive when you guys had all the momentum and they kind of seized it back and made it a 14-point game. What changed? What did they execute? What didn't you guys execute on that drive as you look back?
They just executed little things. There's one play sticks out, the third down. We were in a former man coverage, and they tried to look for the wheel route, and Ryan does whatever escapability he has. He kind of moves a little bit, throws it up to Julio. Well, we were exactly where we wanted him. They tried to run a little spot wheel. We had the spot covered, and then he just improv'd, and they made plays. And looking back, it was one of those times where we got to find out a way to get that covered. I don't know how, I don't know what, but somehow, some way, we got to figure out a way to do it. And it's part of the growth process.
Well, we only know what we see. You're down there. I know Julio Jones is good. Is he that good? He looks special.
I think Julio Jones is a special wide receiver.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think Janoris Jenkins is a special corner, and I think that it's more of a something that we can learn from. Definitely. People are going to sit here and get after Janoris about the long explosive touchdown play. It's okay. Well, we're in middle field safety defense. We should have had a middle field safety. How about the pressure? We should have gotten there. We should have gotten some pressure on Matt Ryan. We're sending technically more than they can block. He's able to throw a deep ball to Julio. I'm going to stand up for my guys. It's a total. It's all 11 guys anytime an explosive play like that happens.
All right, we'll step aside, come back with another segment with Rams middle linebacker James Laurinaitis. You're listening to the Jeff Fisher Show on 101 ESPN and the Rams Radio Network.
It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm going to miss your smell.
You were my first.
What?
I knew it.
It's true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg.
I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa, check out this new couch.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us. James Laurinaitis sitting in with us. Jeff Fisher will be joining us in just a few minutes.
Ohio State got beat by Cal, right?
Yeah. Oh, started.
Whatever.
Look at
no
this.
Way.
Started.
They got stomped by Cal, right? 52 points?
No way.
No way? Oh, okay.
That game was on. I was watching it. Did you watch it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had some friendly wagers with a couple of Cow Bears.
Uh-huh.
It turned out to be a good night.
Good night for you.
You're your own collector?
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's interest if it's not paid for by end of Tuesday.
Nobody stiffs 55. No. Let's look ahead here from your perspective going to Dallas. You mentioned it, kind of a similar. You're facing teams right out of the box that seem to have the same formula. The quarterback, terrific tight end, 2 great starting wide receivers. Bingo. Oh, and by the way, DeMarco Murray's pretty good too.
Yeah.
A lot of top end skill talent in Dallas.
Yeah, there is, and just a talented team altogether. And I think Tony Romo's a great quarterback.
I agree with you.
He's one of the most polarizing guys. People just love to
because he's in Dallas.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Exactly. But he just gets stuff done, and he is extremely dangerous when he improvs. You know, when he's back there and he's kind of messing around. It's kind of like a little bit like Favre back in the day, where he's not going to run it, but he's going to get around and then just gunsling it in there, and you're like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And guys like that are dangerous, and you got a guy like Des Bryant outside, Jason Witten, who just produces. I don't even know what else to say about him. He not the most flashy guy, but he just produces. And DeMarco Murray is a home run threat every time he touches it. I mean, we saw that firsthand a couple years ago, so I don't need to be reminded about that.
Respectfully, not talking trash, but you want another crack at this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He had a great day against you.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially going down to Dallas, and I mean, it's another huge test for this football team. And it's a second road game, and you got to find a way, you know, to however you can to win some games on the road, man. You're not going to make it to the postseason unless you win road games. And so that's where our minds are at. We got to find ways to get these on the road, and it's a huge challenge.
You personally enjoy the challenge of walking into a hostile environment?
Oh, absolutely.
There's something. I mean, there's got to be it's got to push your adrenaline button there.
To me, I love playing at home.
Right.
But when you play on the road, there's nothing better than just a crowd going absolutely silent, and just knowing that you're 53 on the sidelines, and then the coaches are the only ones cheering after a touchdown or after something about that. It's a us against everybody else mentality, and when you're able to overcome in that situation, it's awesome.
When you've been in Dallas before, have you taken time before a game to look around and check out the stadium? And
yeah,
what's your impression?
It's one of a kind.
Opulent.
Yeah.
That's the way I call it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else like it.
No, there's not. There's nothing to compare it to.
No,
because it's in its own realm of stadiums. There's so much entertainment involved with that. But just a different kind of place, man. It's entertainment and football and Dallas Cowboys.
The expression is, it's hard to hide money.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to hide money.
You can't hide that money right there.
That's big oil money.
How you feeling? You good?
Yeah.
Ready to rock and roll?
Normal soreness.
I know. Like how bad? Stop staring at me. You give me the death stare, man.
I don't know. I mean, it's bad. Not too bad.
Not too bad. You're good.
Yeah.
All right. You got a long way to go.
I'll be practicing Wednesday.
You
definitely have a long way to go.
I heard that.
James, thanks very much, man.
Absolutely.
We appreciate your time. Hey, how about a hand for James Laurinaitis, number 55.
Give me the death stare.
Thank you, James. We'll see you this week.
It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm gonna miss your smell.
You were my first.
What? I knew it. I knew
It's
it.
true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg.
I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa. Check out this new couch.
Welcome back. Take a couple more questions and look ahead to the Sunday's matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, again on the road. Jeff, a couple of questions about some young players. First, Brian Quick, how would you assess what he's done in the first couple of weeks here?
It's been productive. He's gone out on the field when he's been given the opportunity and he's done the right things. He's been productive. I would like to see him maybe try to make that safety miss, and they bring the corner and Sam got the ball out to him. He made the first one miss and then pushed up the field and stumbled and ran right into him. It's that old run into darkness kind of thing. But he's doing well. I mean, I go back to that play he made last week, put the ball down inside the 1 yard line. He's a strong, powerful guy that's coming on.
How do you assess Alec Ogletree's play here through 2 weeks?
Improving.
Arrow going up?
Still, it's going up. Still room for improvement. But again, I keep saying he's yet to see everything. So he sees some things new week after week. Once he gets down and is comfortable and has seen a lot of things, I think he'll be much more productive, but he's improving.
He gets there fast.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, really quick.
Put that fullback down on his shoulder.
Yeah,
that, by the way, was his coverage, and he just caught it and ran up sideline, went up tackle, and put him on his shoulder. Game was that was it for the fullback.
They know they're in a game. I mean, their injury list indicates they were in a very physical contest.
Yes,
I mean, we know that. Through 2 games, you guys have been very good and stout against the run, especially good yesterday, 36 yards total. And you knew going in after 14 carries the week before they were probably going to be interested in establishing the run. a lot of guys are responsible for that. Can you talk a little bit about having Michael Brockers in there at this time last year? You didn't, and the difference that makes in stuff in the run.
Yeah, it does, Mike. And in addition to the way Michael's playing, but also
Kendall.
Kendall's playing well. The ends are playing well. I mean, Robert is playing really well against the run, and that's the one thing. He gets the attention because of the sacks and the pressures, but. And every time there's a back stacked up on the line of scrimmage on our right, Robert's got something to do with it. He's playing well too. So, and James, and now everybody's playing well against the run, but we really haven't been challenged. Let's be realistic about it. I mean, Arizona didn't really challenge us, and and when Jack went down, I credit Jack with their victory. Because. Had Jack stayed healthy, they probably would have had 30 carries. And they had 30 carries. That would have meant that Matt would have had that many fewer pass attempts.
But even when he was in there in the first drive, I think he had 3 carries for 0 yards.
Yeah, but still, I still think they would have handed the ball off to him, throughout the game, which would have, I think, worked, towards our benefit.
Think that'll change this week in Dallas, being challenged against the run?
I would hope. Again, I hope so.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him handed off than you saw those highlights, but what Romo's doing to Des Bryant right now, that first quarter was amazing. Some of those throws and catches.
Every week there's another hot receiver you have to deal with. Now it's Des Bryant.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a good quarterback.
Well, we were talking with James too. It seems like the first 3 weeks the formula's the same. You get 3 really good. You get hell of a tight end. You get 2 great wide receivers. You got a quarterback that can sling it. And now, you got DeMarco Murray in the backfield. They're very, very talented here. This is a very talented football team.
Yeah, they are. And, I think we're pretty good on defense, too. We can run, and we can hit, we can rush, and we need to be a little bit more creative, play a little bit smarter. And we're scoring points right now, which is good.
Yeah, thank God you can protect DeMarcus Ware with crowd noise.
Yeah.
Scary prospect.
Yeah, when you say be more creative, you mean as coaches or?
I think from a scheme standpoint, I think we have to, there's some situation things that we're going to have to work on. Yeah.
Is Romo one of those guys that you worry about extending the play? He can extend it. He's not one of those guys that's going to run for 100 yards on you, but he can extend it another second and a half or 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, he does, and he'll, just like Matt did the other night, or last night seems like forever, but. When he rolled out to his left, and got Julio down the field. We had Julio doubled. You buy yourself some time. You throw off schedule, and sometimes good things happen. But he's also had a lot of negative plays when he's tried to do that as well.
Mobile quarterbacks don't take smoke off your rush or how you prepare to blitz guys. If they can move, it's no different versus different quarterbacks.
Correct. To me, it's the commitment to a man-to-man scheme or concept to where now the quarterback sees it and knows it and will go run. I mean, a great example is our quarterback. I mean, he's pulled the ball down and run it now and extended some drives and made some big plays when he sees man-to-man stuff. That doesn't bother him a bit.
Tried to run over a safety, too.
Yeah, he came off. He goes, how'd you like my slide? Thought you were a better athlete than that, bud.
Talk about Dallas's defense. What do they do well? They went on the road, held Kansas City to 17 points yesterday. What's their personality on defense?
Well, new coordinator, Monty Kiffin, Tampa Bay, USC, just brand new coordinator. So it's zone-based. It's under, kind of, and they jet the 3 technique, and they like to play a lot of the Tampa 2 stuff. And then he's pretty good with the pressure looks, the zone dogs, and creating fake pressure, making you get rid of the ball and throw into coverage and things like that.
Is it the same cover 2 scheme that we've dating
that's
back to
evolved
Tampa Bay
out of
days?
there? Yeah, they're evolved out of there. Yeah.
For folks listening to this, that they've heard the cover 2, Tampa 2, that kind of thing. Just in general terms, can you describe it for them and how you break it down, just in layman's terms?
Yeah, well, I mean, some people disagree, but it's a 3 deep concept. Because you have 2 high safeties outside and you have a middle linebacker running to the middle, the deep middle. So it's technically a 3 deep concept, but you've got both your corners rolled up and they're in the face of the wide receivers, and then you have 2 more underneath defenders that are zone droppers that are basically matching up underneath and or just spot dropping. So what you do is you take away for the listeners, you take away the one-on-one situations, the opportunities outside. It's supposed to take away the outside passing game, the receivers. It creates problems for them, but most of the time, this defense is attacked down the middle of the field or over the ball, and you start talking about quick rhythm throws. That's what you have to do. You got to foot hit, let the ball out, catch the ball between two defenders, and turn up the field. So, but actually, some people call it Tampa 2. It's too deep. Well, in my opinion, it's 3 deep because the Mike's always running in the middle.
You better have a mobile Mike. You're going to run that defense.
Yeah.
You better have a guy who can turn and run.
Turn
his hips and get down the field.
That's right.
Everybody uses a form of it, right? You use a form of it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, with variations of it and other variations of 2 deep concepts.
So to review here in the final minute here, your guys, they're angry. They didn't win that football game. And that's a good thing to you. That's a good thing to the head coach. You want them to be angry. Expectations have been raised. They expect to win these games.
Absolutely. 24-hour rules in effect. It's over. We're on the Cowboys, but starting tomorrow, we have 2 in 9 days.
2 in 9 days?
2 in 9 days. So we've got to take care of our bodies, rest up, and come back. And
will you alter practice because of that? Alter practice schedule this week?
I'm going to modify some things this week as well.
Yeah. So what you do one week can affect the next week even.
Absolutely.
Jeff, we appreciate the time.
Go
get those Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
A hand for Jeff Fisher here. Thank you for coming out.
2 and 9.
2 and 9.
2 in 9 days. That's
you
a real
understand
deal.
that? You understand what that's like as a player?
That means I'm doing a lot of sitting down at home.
People are going to wait on you?
Yeah, of course. 2 in 9 days. That's what I would say.
You're not going to the grocery store?
No, 2 in 9 days. Dad, let's play. 2 in 9 days.
All right. Dallas coming up on Sunday. We'll beat those Cowboys. Thanks for coming out. The Buffalo Wild Wings of Creve Coeur, thank you. We appreciate everybody contributing. Online, Twitter, on the radio, on the phone. Questions here in person, we take them all. You ready?
Man, I can't wait. Yeah, we got some work to do down there in Dallas. Last time we were there as a broadcast team.
That wasn't fun.
No. Happy flight this time.
Happy flight.
Happy flight.
Shut down DeMarco Murray.
Yes.
I guarantee you.
No 90-yard draws?
Yeah, there's no 90-yard draws. None of that. All right, for DeMarco Farr and Jeff Fisher, I'm Steve Savard. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Jeff Fisher Show on 101 ESPN and the Rams Radio Network.